Hey everybody! We're having a few technical difficulties. Facebook Live doesn't want to work. So I've got my phone propped up and hoping it works on my phone. So I am Kristen Jett. I am from Starlit Strategies. My thing is soulful marketing and helping women tap into their power to create marketing that's easier, that is less hustle, and that brings you better profits without all of the hustle and grind. Yes, hi Rebecca, yay, it's working. So excited that we got this working. So I will be talking to you today about manifesting clients, and I'm going to see if I can pull this up on my laptop too so I can read all of your comments. If you have questions about how to manifest and bring in, hi Jill, bring in your dream clients, you're free to ask at any time and I'll slide it in whenever it works. I've got my Rod Stewart voice, so I'm going to have some tea with me. Still getting over the flu from last week. Thank you guys for letting me reschedule. And we'll give this a few minutes, let everybody get on. I have my cough drops handy too. So yeah, if you aren't familiar with me, I'm an intuitive business strategist, and my background is in corporate million-dollar marketing, and I quickly realized that the reasons why they weren't working wasn't the marketing, and it was the mindset, and that they were going against the soul of their business, like what their business actually wanted. I was like, I don't want to help people when they're going against everything they're supposed to be doing. I want to help people who are tapped in enough to realize, hey, I need to go with the flow of my business and I need to work on myself to grow my business. One of my things is I can tap into the soul of your business and I can tell you what your business wants if your business is open to sharing that with me. And lately it's been like, oh hey, here's a launch plan for somebody, or they want them to make this quiz. And it's really fascinating. So, hi everybody, I see a few more dropping on. Just give me a couple hearts or something if you want to make sure, let me know that you can hear me. So we're going to talk about, for a few minutes, what is manifesting. If you are new to that, it sounds like this super woo topic, and it doesn't really have to be. It's as simple as really letting yourself have what you want, but to break it down, it's everything you do, all of your thoughts, your words, your actions, everything is dropping coins in an energetic piggy bank. So if you're saying, I want this, you're dropping in a coin. If you're taking an action towards it, you're dropping in another coin. And manifesting is aligning all those coins so that it can actually bring what you want on the physical plane. And so you can consciously bring in where those coins are going and know that you're going to get what you want. It doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be like, oh my God, I can't think something negative or it's going to stop this. Yes, you want to be thinking as positive as you can, but it's not like this instant, I've got to stress over what I'm doing. For example, of some things that I've manifested recently, it's been my Porsche. I have a Porsche Cayenne. Yeah, dropping coins, it's like my favorite way to explain it, because it's just like, okay, I'm putting in these affirmations, that goes with this. I'm taking aligned action, that puts me one step forward, and then every little thing you do goes, hi Valerie, how are you? Every little thing you'll do will build up so that you're building up till you get to that 100% mark where it's like on a spiritual level, on an energetic level, everywhere you are letting yourself have this item that you want. And it can be something little. Like everybody says to start with like parking spaces. When you're driving up to the the grocery store or wherever, just imagine that you have that parking space up top and feel like you have it. Hi Angie. And then you can go steps bigger. As I was saying, big things that I've manifested. One would be my soulmate. Found him less than a year after leaving an abusive relationship where I had to move to a different coast. I had to leave my job, my car, lost about 20 grand altogether, and found my soulmate. So it worked exactly as it was supposed to. My Porsche, I have a Porsche Cayenne that I got at an amazing price, because it was like I know I'm going to have this once I have the baby, and 6 months later, there's my Porsche. It can be as simple as, a new photo shoot. It can be as simple as, things. I've worked with my mentors the last year. So just think about what you want, and all of those things are things that you can manifest for yourself. If you guys want to share something that you would like to manifest besides clients or something that you're working towards, I'd love to see it. But for manifesting clients, I mean, that's one of the easiest ways. Hi, Suzanne. That's like one of the easiest things you're going to be using it for, or one of the most common things you're likely to use it for in your business. You could also use the same thing, yes, with parking spaces. That's the first, like the great first step. And then abundance, and when you're manifesting abundance, be really clear on how you want that abundance to show up, because abundance can be everything. When I think of abundance, I think of, having lots of love and having balance in my life and having time for myself, as well as having, money in my bank account and clients rolling in. And so be clear on how you want that abundance to look like and how you want it to feel like. And we'll keep talking about that. So when you're manifesting in dream clients, the first thing is you have to really know who are your dream clients. And it sounds like such a, of course I have to know who my dream clients are, but you want to know them on a really deep level. You want to be able to say, yeah, all of those things count, Lots of pregnant moms, you say, Chantel. So what do those pregnant moms have in common? Is it any type of pregnant mom? Is it, a pregnant mom between these ages who are in this particular area, who are, open to a particular type of pregnancy? Get really clear. I mean, for me, it changes with what I'm offering. Right now, I am filling up a conscious mastermind. So I want to, make sure that I am consciously attracting in women who are wanting to grow their business. They are at a level of their business where they know exactly who they're talking to and why they're talking to them. They want to make an impact in the world, whether it's just, helping people get freedom, or if it's helping people tap into their power. So you can get really clear, and my list is a little bit longer, and we'll talk about list in a little bit. Know who your dream client is. Know why you're helping them, and this can be super selfish. It can be I want to make X amount of money so that I can help my family, so that I can buy this thing to support my business, so that I can feel less stressed. As much as you can make it about yourself, especially physically, your brain gets out of the way and allows you to manifest it faster. So if you're thinking, okay, I want these clients so that I can be healthier and that I have more time to go to the gym and work out, and that I have, my body is more balanced, there won't be as much cortisol. All of that are really easy ways to logically tie it in. So your brain's like, okay, I understand what's going on here. I'll work with you. And you can even think about, what is your big why? For me, it's I am helping women create freedom in their lives, especially so that they are financially free, and as well as being free in a way where they can do what they want and support their family in the way they want. I mean, I have a toddler who is running amok at the moment. You might hear him at some point. And part of my why, on a basic level, is that I want to be able to work at home with him. I want to work when I want to. So last week, I had flumageddon. The whole family was sick, and it's I don't want to have to worry about what do I do to bring clients in, or what do I do to make money when I have flumageddon and a Rod Stewart voice and I can't talk. And the bigger why is, if I bring it back to, I want to help women have financial freedom so that they don't get in situations with abusive partners, or just kind of that ick with partners and they feel like they can't escape. My mother was in that situation. I said for the longest time, I never want to be in that situation. So of course I manifested that into my life because I focused too much on it. And it ended up being a wonderful thing for me because it led me to the place where I can really help women get out of that. But you have to be clear on what is your why. If you want to share that with me now, I can see it pop up and, comment on that. Why do you want to work with these people? And, your big why and your little why. And why are these people coming to you as opposed to somebody else? Know what your superhero skills are, what your superpower is. Thanks, Valerie. Know why they want to work with you. Is it because you were the only person in the area that does this? Is it because you have an experience they can relate to? Is it because you have this certain like super special skill that nobody else they've come across have? For little things that people have said to me, people like working with me because I don't come across like one of those coaches that have everything put together. They don't feel like I'm selling them on like the let's go to the beach and take a photo shoot and we all have to look perfect and our house is always perfect, and you know, they're all moms and they're like, we want somebody who feels real, or they're, you know, they're somebody who is at younger ages and they're like, we want to feel like we are real because we don't have everything put together. I don't have everything put together. My desk is a mess, usually with crystals and candles and everything all over it. You can think about those little things that people say. Why do they come to you? Why do they relate to you? And those are the things that you need to pay attention to, because you can use that in everything that you're doing consciously, and remembering that, okay, this person says that they're coming to me because I have this one skill. And then they also say they're coming to me because I have this one experience. How can I align that with what I'm doing so that when I am manifesting it in, I am using what people have already told me that we're really good at and that they're connecting with me for? Yeah, Stephanie, that's great. So you want to be able to, you know, keep up with your financial freedom, and you want to be able to pursue other interests. You can also like break it down, like what does pursuing other interests do for you? What does that bring into your life that's positive? You know, it might help your health, it might help your mental health, it might just give you something to focus on that's not business. Like every little way that you can break this down and think about what it's doing for you that's positive, all of that helps. And that's something that I feel like a lot of people forget to do. And because you don't want to feel like manifesting is selfish, but in a way, it's, you've got to connect it back to yourself to know why you're doing this. I like to set intentions at this part, and so it'll be like, you know, I intend to attract X amount of clients in this program or in this type by this date by doing this. And so you're connecting it with the action you're doing, you're connecting all the pieces together, and you can, you know, then call on any deities if you believe in God, if you believe in universe, source, if it's a specific God, a saint. You can call on them. You can just call on your guides and your angels to aid you and guide you and support you on the journey. So you bring in your spiritual support team and let them help you manifest and help them lead you to where you need to be. And then think the universe and act like you already have it. Stop worrying. Stop saying, oh, I don't know if I'm going to get this. You know, stop all of that, because what you're doing then is you're taking coins out of the, you know, the right spot at the piggy bank and putting them like over here with the, well, I need to save this because I don't know if I'm going to get these clients that I really say that I'm getting, or I don't know that this is going to happen. You have to trust. Okay, let me see what you're saying, Valerie. Yeah, I love that, to use natural handmade skincare rather than like the mass-produced products, and financial freedom. So you can get really even more clear on like why is using the natural handmade skincare, why is that better? I mean, I know why it's better, but you can say it in your own words. And you can say, what does financial freedom look like for you? Because it's going to be different for everybody else. Freedom is different for everybody. To me, freedom doesn't necessarily mean like jet setting around the world. It means being able to sit at home out with my kids and work from wherever. And it could mean, you know, going to retreats a couple times a year. But it doesn't have to be whatever. It doesn't even have to be making a specific amount depending on what you're doing. Get really clear on like how much does that make for you? Like, is financial freedom making 6 figures? Is it making enough to pay your bills and have extra money? Like, what is that? So to anchor in like who your dream client is, one of my favorite things to do is to make a dream client list. It's the same thing I did when I was searching for my soulmate. And it's literally as simple as, I think I keep a special intentions notebook. You don't have to, you can just use any old piece of paper. And write down like all the qualities they have. And you can start asking yourself questions so you don't forget things. When I was making a soulmate list, I had one list for what do I want in a partner? And then it was, what do I want in the father of my children, just so I didn't forget things. You can talk about, like, you know, why they're committed to doing the work. If they're committed, you know, if it's your own business, it can be, you know, are they ready to grow to the next level of their business? What are they experiencing? What are their pain points? Why do they need you? And how does your relationship look like? Is it going to be, you know, they're super open to working with me, they want me to be in my Facebook Lives? Is it going to be something more like, you know, they give me the freedom where I can just step in and talk with them, get really specific? For me, it's they want to have a friendly relationship, and they're going to let me know if they have questions. And so it could be in a Facebook group, or it could be, I use Voxer a lot, or Facebook Messenger. That kind of relationship. I don't want to be like super, you know, away from them. I want to know what's going on. And then also in your dream client list, talk about how you can help them, and get really, you know, all the things we're talking about, get it even more specific, so that the more that you do this, you are blowing out all the mindset blocks that are getting in your way, and you're getting really clear on who they are and why you're calling them in, and you're telling the universe, hey, I'm calling this person in. I'm taking physical steps to call them in. I'm making this list, and then we'll continue to talk about more physical steps, but it's not just, I want this. It's, I want this, and look at all these coins I'm dropping. I want this, and I'm telling you exactly what I want. I'm making it really clear. And then I'm going to make this list to make it really clear, and you can see me taking action on it. And from there, I always like to do little rituals around my intentions just to give it a little more oomph. It doesn't have to be big. It can be whatever feels right to you. You will always see me with little wish bracelets on, because I use those for like the everyday one. And it's, you know, I don't know how well you can see because it's my phone, but it's, you know, I have a little charm, and it's whenever I remember or like look at it, I will touch the charm and say an affirmation related to it. So these two I've been wearing since Bali, and one, you know, it's I am embraced in my power, because Bali was all about new powers for me and growing my spiritual gifts, even though not entirely what I expected. So I had to remember, hey, let's wear this because all sorts of interesting things are going on, and I want to stay in the lessons that Bali was giving me. Thanks, Jill. I made them myself. I've got my jewelry making kit over here, and I make them for clients too sometimes. I'll take a quick sip of tea. You could do it any other piece of jewelry. You could do the same thing. If you wear a ring all the time, you could, you know, touch the ring and have that same thing. If you were doing another piece of jewelry, I would say to make the ritual even more, especially if it's something that you wear all the time. Just like rub it down with an essential oil as you're first saying like what the intention is, and you could even go through your dream client list as you do it, and then throughout the day as you look at it, as you know, if you touch it, like I fidget constantly, so as I touch my ring, I could go through the I am constantly attracting my dream clients, and, you know, go through a list of them, the qualities, as just throughout the day, and touch in on that. You could even, I like to pull oracle cards if I'm filling a program, so I'll have a card for each person that I'm trying to bring in, and so I could go through like their names, like right now I'm using Goddess deck, and so I could go through Diana, Coventina, Una, and that's just, you know, that little click gets your brain thinking of, okay, I'm calling in these people, I'm bringing them into me. Now have another sip of tea. For a bigger ritual, you can use the same list you have, but also take another piece of paper and write down your exact intentions. Like, I'm intending to call in this many people. These are the actions that I am taking to call them in. These are why I'm calling them in. These are the ways that I'm going to help them. This is why they need me. This is exactly how I want the process to look. You don't have to include that one, but it can be, you know, I want them to come in easily. I'm good. I'm just drinking my tea. I'm so glad you've got notes. I want them to come in easily. I want them to come in without having to build a whole structure. You can really make it, as specific to you, because your business should be specific to you. I mean, as a marketer, I hate when people say you have to follow one template, because no, your business has its own soul, and it has its own energy, and you have your own energy. So these should be really, like, even if you think it sounds crazy, if you want it to happen in a certain way, you have the right to ask for it to come through in that way. The universe might not agree with you, but at least you can get clear on the way you want it to look and have that put out there. So you can, make the list, say everything, and also include gratitude. I like to list with, thank you, universe, thank you, everybody. And again, touch back on, this is why I'm doing this. This is what I want to give to them. This is the experience I want them to have. This is what I want them to get out of it. So in addition to calling them in, you're saying, okay, like for me, I'll go back to my mastermind constellation coven. I want these women to tap into their power. I want them to grow their business through tapping into their power and understanding that they have more abilities and gifts than what they are currently using. I want them to grow their business with ease and stop believing that they have to do all the things everybody tells them to do. And I want them to be able to start listening to the soul of their business and do what makes their business happy and them happy, while giving them more freedom, more ease, and more profits. And I want their business to feel more fun. It's very much a spiritual and business together. So you can think about that from like whatever works for you. What is the big, like what do you want them to leave with? When they're done, what will they know? How will they feel? What are their new core desired feelings? What do they want their life to look like now? Is their life already different? So you can include all that in. And then after you have that page, I would already probably I spray, something scented in the air. So it's like, okay, I'm in the vibe. Right now I have, it's right there. I have rose oil. And I just keep it in a little spray bottle, but you can use whatever. And then I want you to have a candle. For this, I would recommend a green, gold, or, hey Lindsay, it's cool, you can look at the replay. We're just talking about how to attract in your dream client and going over a little ritual. So to catch you up real fast, you can watch the whole thing, but we're talking about making a list of intentions for what we want to bring in and why we want those clients to come in and what we're going to do for them. And then we're going to get a candle. Yes. As many senses as you can use really amps up any sort of ritual and any sort of manifestation, because you're getting more of your brain and more of your body going. Hi, Margie. So if you can make it, if bring in the smell, so you're smelling something, and that way you can also, whenever you smell it, you'll relate it. Good, Valerie. Hopefully you guys can get some more notes out of this later. I know it's a lot to take in, especially if you're new to manifesting, so you may want to let it process a few times. And you can also ask me questions. I'll be around. Still be a little sick this week, but I'll be around. So yeah, whenever you smell that, you'll go back into that, okay, that's what I was smelling when I was calling in those clients. And it brings that back in. Hi, Sophie. And you can also bring in, with the wish bracelets, that's touch. So for me, I always touch the flat little charm. And so it's okay, when I touch this hematite star, I'm tapping back into that. And I put oil on these, and it's a certain oil. So it's okay, when I smell this, I'm in that place. I'm connected to what I'm bringing in, and I can get really clear faster, and it just clicks me back in, as opposed to sitting down and being what is it that I'm asking for again? What is in my list? You can, consider what other tangible ways you want to bring this in. If you have back to the candle, green, gold, or white would be my suggestion for colors, just because your brain will relate those more to abundance. And if you could have it scented, you could. Think about what scents are for attraction to you, or what scents relate to your clients. If you're a doula, it could be maybe you spray a certain scent whenever you're in labor. I know my doula sprayed lavender, so maybe a lavender candle would work. It could be maybe you really think about chocolate chip cookies as abundant, so it could be a chocolate chip cookie or a vanilla candle. It doesn't have to make sense to anybody but you. Yes, this is really great for when you get stuck on what you're doing. You can go back to that scent or that tangible. And you can also, I like to break everything down into like my big goal and my little goals. And so if it's like, I don't know what to do, it's like, okay, if my big goal is, let's say it's bringing in clients, and if you have this list of things to do, it's like, is this thing actually going to bring in clients, or is this something I'm just doing because I think I should? You know, if it's something like, you're like, okay, I could post on Facebook, I could create a new opt-in, I could do this. And it's like, which one is actually going to bring me closer to connecting with clients? If you do discovery calls, it could be which one's going to get me closer to calls. And you do it that way, and I would continue to spray the smell or light the candle so that you're in that zone while you're doing that action, just to give it a little more oomph. But as you have your intention list and you light your candle, you can then try to really focus on the energy of the clients that you're bringing in. Really feel it and visualize them if you can. If you have a particular client that is like, aha, that's the one I want, a million more like them, you can think of them and you can think of how it felt to work with them. And then go through the list again in your head or out loud. I like to do it out loud while saying really clear, this is what I'm calling in. And then thank the universe for what is already on the way. And that's super key because it's already happened, it's already here, you're letting it in, and you're grateful. When you connect to gratitude, you're not in that place of fear where you're not sure if it's going to happen or if you're worried about it. Connecting to gratitude blows all that out of the way. And so it's like the fastest way to shift your mindset into happen. Ooh, good. Sophie, do you want to share what your candle is? I usually use, it's not over here, or it's not within reach, but I have a little candle that has a tarot card picture on it, and it is for the 9 of coins, so it has, a necklace of the coins, and it instantly makes me think of abundance because it's in these like rich colors, and I have a little oil that goes with it, and that's what I use a lot, but I also use vanilla because vanilla always makes me feel all warm and cuddly and safe, and that's what I want when I'm bringing in clients. I create this safe space, and I want them to feel supported and cuddly, and like we're, oh no, I'm gonna have a virtual dance party, so vanilla works for me. Sorry guys, throat's going out of me again. And that is like a really simple way to manifest it in, and you can use, ooh, bergamot. Yes, I love that. That feels super luxurious. I like to mix bergamot with jasmine. I don't think I know the other scent, so I'm gonna have to find that one, Sophie. So yeah, those are the easiest ways to manifest in. I mean, there's lots of steps you can do. Let me know if you have any questions, and also, I don't know if we mentioned, I am going to be giving somebody, we're going to do a random pick, and I have a figure out who your dream client is, basically. It's, discover your stellar dream clients workbooks, and I'm going to give one of those away since I had to reschedule last week when Flumageddon got me. I would love to hear a little more from you guys on that clarity of who you're manifesting them in and why. If you want to share, because I'd love to hear like your intentions behind this. I'm sure you're thinking about it right now. Let's see if I can see anything popping up. Yeah, I can totally do a quick overview of the steps. We actually drink another set of tea. Woohoo! Glad you're working on your dream client now. That is the real key, is you have to know who you're calling in. So going back as an overview. Okay, I'll come back to that, Sophie. I'll do the overview and I'll come back to your question on textures. So the overview, you want to know who your dream client is, really clear on like more than just like, oh, it's this person of this age, and you want to know what they're thinking and why they need you, and really kind of connect to who they are on a deeper level. I think for a lot of us, our dream client is us in a previous stage. For me, I think my dream client is often somebody like me where I was maybe 5 years ago, maybe even closer. And I know with a lot of the clients that I work with, it's very similar. It's like me before I learned this one thing or before I had this one experience. So figure out who your dream client is, focus on that, get clear on why you want to work with them, on what you'll be doing for them and why they're benefiting from working with you. Get clear on your big why and your little whys. Why do you want the income coming in? What is it going to do for you on a physical level, on an emotional level, on a spiritual level? What are you bringing to the table that nobody else can bring? Why are they coming to you? What are the gifts that you are bringing into this relationship? Basically, what's your superpower? And you can even think, get clear on what is the amount of money you want to bring in and what are the other positives you want to bring in with it. So if it's you want to bring in $10K a month, it could be, that plus I want to make sure that I'm paying off these bills and that I have this much in the bank that I'm saving and that I am experiencing these things. Experiences are a good thing to add in because your brain will automatically think about, okay, this is what it's like to have that, and yeah, I want to go have a massage every month because I can get in that relaxed feeling, and it'll click a little more. And then I like to say my intentions with, I, Kristen, intend to attract, let's say, how many into this program by this date. I want to do it easily and gracefully, and I'm going to take these actions to get there. I'm calling upon my spiritual guides and my spiritual team to help me and to guide me and support me along the way. Please give me any guidance that I need, and thank you, universe. You can amend that to whatever works for you. And then I like to make the tangible dream client list with everything written out so that I can see it and have it more in depth than everything we're talking to and have it down. And then to write down all my intentions, which is again, why you're helping them, what they're going to get out of it, what their life will look like afterwards, how many people you're attracting, what that business relationship is going to look like, what it's going to feel like, how you will feel in that place because you're going to be leading them or teaching them or helping them with something. How will you feel when you're doing that? How will you feel to have this many people? Get really clear on the feelings and how you help them. And again, write down like you're thanking the universe and that you're calling in your guides. And then you can light your favorite candle. And, again, I recommend green for abundance or gold or white. And then just slide it under the candle. The candle can be scented. I sometimes will take like a toothpick and write in like the number of people. And sometimes I'll make little symbols that relates. So for me, I often use stars or moons because that relates to my business the most. So it's like little stars and moons. And if I am pouring a scent over top of it, then I'll rub the scent over that. If you know that you're not going to burn the house down, you could put certain herbs on top. I have sprinkled those. I have a friend who likes to use glitter because the glitter on top will remind her kind of like what she's sending out, the energy she's sending out. And glitter burns a little funny, so you might want to be careful on that one, but it does work well. And then as you light the candle, connect to the feeling of, this is who I'm calling in. Think about if there's a particular person that is your, oh yes, runes would be great. Think about who, like what is the energy of them? What does your relationship with them already look like? And get like in that zone. And then, call them in. You can read your list of intentions. You can read your list of dream client qualities. And again, thank the universe. You could also even like leave a little gift for the universe, or sometimes I will, depending what it is, if it's, because I like to celebrate with tequila. So I'll take a shot and leave a little bit there, like, next to the candle, just next to it, as kind of like the, hey, universe, I'm celebrating, celebrate with me. And you can do whatever differs for you. And as the overview for, we talked about making the little touch pieces. With most of mine, I said I use like wish bracelets. You could use a piece of jewelry. You could just use an affirmation. You could set it as, if you're using an affirmation, like you could set it as your desktop for your computer or for your phone, and just have it. So every time you turn on your phone, you see, I am attracting in dream clients, or, you know, I am easily attracting in dream clients. I am a dream client magnet. It could be whatever. And find those little pieces that help you anchor in what you're doing and the way you want to feel. For me, I often use the bracelets. I don't necessarily anchor anything into my other pieces of jewelry, but I know that I'm wearing jewelry that supports what I'm doing and that makes me feel powerful. Thank you, Jill. You're the best. So Jill has written down a whole bunch of steps of what I'm saying. I'm not going to read the whole thing now, but I assume it's everything I just said. So Jill's helping you out there with the jewelry. You can rub it down with the oil and repeat what your affirmation is, like what is your main focus. For everything that you're manifesting, I would recommend having, you know, one affirmation or word that you associate with it. So it's like every time you think it, it's like, okay, you're tapping back into it. So let's say your ring is your focal piece. You can rub it down with some oil and go through, you know, the whole ritual of, these are what I'm intending to bring in. These are the clients. This is how many I want. This is all the qualities of them. This is how I'll feel. And then as you touch it throughout the day, you can say, you know, I'm attracting in my dream clients. I am easily manifesting my dream clients. I'm a dream client magnet. Whatever makes the most sense to you, whatever feels right and feels natural. You want it to be something that kind of just flows, that you don't have to think about. And you could use any piece of jewelry, like it doesn't have to be super fancy. I mean, wish bracelet is a piece of hemp with a bead. And once it falls off, then I'm like, okay, it's done. My energy's out there, time to make a new one. So I'm gonna go back up. I know I saw a couple questions that I missed. Textures. For textures, I usually just use pieces of jewelry. I could use, sometimes I've used little particular pieces of cloth that feel a certain way. And so it's like every time I touch that piece of cloth, it'll remind me that I'm doing that. I don't use textures that much. I kind of go with scent and jewelry the most, but I think you could play around with that pretty easily, especially you could almost use it in like the same way like a child uses a comfort blanket. It's like, oh, okay, every time I touch this, I'm tapping back into that feeling of attracting them in. I think you could really easily use like a blanket if you work with a blanket. I usually have one in my office, so it's like every time you cover yourself with a blanket and you touch the edge of the blanket, you could tap back into that. And in the same way that we talked about with the jewelry, you could line the blanket with oil or, you know, whatever. And I'm going to ponder that one a little more because I'm sure something else will come through when I'm not like in the zone. It usually happens when I'm done and I'm like, oh hey, here's all the things that I'm wanting to channel through. Ooh, yeah, Stephanie, so your list looks great. I love that you have comes to you easily in there. I think that's something we often forget. We can ask for it to be easy. It doesn't have to be so hard. Manifesting doesn't have to be hard. Business doesn't have to be hard. We can let it be easy. So, Stephanie, what does being committed to getting in shape look like? Is it a mental thing? Is it also being committed to invest in themselves? Is it being committed to work out a particular time or to do particular health plans, to use certain things? You might want to break that down just a little more so that you get where you're wanting to go. What does being excited to participate look like to you? What does that feel like to you? You can even talk about what is financially stable. Like, what does that mean? Does it mean just that she's able to pay? Does it mean that she's able to pay with ease? You can get really more clear on that. Let's see, he provides, yeah. So your superpower is that you're loving to mentor. and that you're really driven to help their lives, and that you're great at being a nurse. So, if you guys want to ask me questions, I would love to hear. I'll probably be topping off soon because my voice is going, but I'll stay on for a few minutes if you guys have questions, and if we have another questions, maybe Rebecca can have me back again, because this is something I could go on and on about for forever, and especially ritual. I use so many rituals in my business, and it is something that I'm really excited to teach people about, because it doesn't have to be like this complicated thing. It's a, hey universe, I want this, let's do something for it. Oh, thanks Rebecca. I'm going to take a second to see if you guys have questions. Oh, enjoy your dinner, Sophie. Yeah, feel free to ask anything if something pops back up. And I think I actually have a PDF that I can share with you guys later if I can find it, that goes over through some of this stuff. So if so, I'll post that in the group if Rebecca allows it. And yeah, so I can definitely share how I work with clients. Yeah, Valerie, being clear and specific is really the key. I didn't know you wanted a dream client attraction jewelry line, Jill. Gonna have to think about that one. So right now with my clients, I've been working one-to-one, and I am changing that now. I'm changing it now. I recently went to Bali, and I got the message that I'm not supposed to work directly one-to-one anymore, and because I'm supposed to be leading women to tap into their power on a greater level, and it needs to be experienced with other people. So Constellation Coven will be opening soon, and well, it's basically launching. We're doing private launches right now, and I'm inviting people in, and it'll be a group of around 12 women plus me, so I make 13, and it'll be one-to-one marketing strategy plus all the advantages of a mastermind, plus we're going to be doing monthly manifesting rituals, because I have found that you can manifest by yourself, and it's great, but you can manifest with other people, and all of their energy is going to what you're manifesting as well. So instead of just having one person putting energy towards, if you're attracting in clients, you're having 13 people put energy towards it. So all of us will be, more power, building up more stuff, manifesting faster, as well as taking the tangible steps on growing their business, because we'll be making a 13-month plan of what they're doing in their business based off of what their goals are and what the soul of their business is saying. And we'll be doing like honeypots and crystal grids, so lots of energy work to support all of the wonderful biz stuff. If you want to find out more about me or about Constellation Coven, or just follow me on anywhere. So I am on Instagram, and I am Prophet Priestess, and I'll post links when I am not on my phone. And there you'll find random pictures of things like donuts and all of the little insights and me running around Bali. You can also friend me on Facebook, that's cool. You'll probably see a lot of the Instagram stuff as well as random things about my kid. And I do have Twitter as Kristen Jett. And if you want to go to the website, that's Starlit Strategies, and you can find out more about what I do. I have some blogs there on how to run a soulful business, on how to tap in to the different side of your business. So I will post all of those links in when I'm back on the computer. Oh, Jill's got it. Thank you, Jill. Jill's fabulous. So thank you guys for having me. I'm going to stay on for another minute to see if you guys have any more questions. Feel free to tag me in anything if something pops up. I am super happy to support you, and as I said, feel free to send me a friend request. I like making friends, especially if you send me messages, because I miss things in my feed. But if you send me nice little messages, we can chat. Promise I am friendly, usually. I Everybody needs Jill. Everybody really does need a Jill. She's a fabulous person to have in your life. Oh man, yeah, I'm seeing things like pop up on my computer. I'm like, Jill's on top of everything. Alright guys, it has been lovely. Thank you. Thank you. I've got my honey tea, so I'll be feeling better soon. So, you guys are so welcome. Just said if you go back to the replay, feel free to send me questions, and I am happy to answer them. I'm going to see you guys later. Bye-bye. Thank you guys. Bye-bye.